Hello. Last night I was thinking about this a lot, and I felt I needed to do a little video about adjusting to the silence. And there's a very popular thing going around at the moment about, now you can hear the birds singing in Wuhan and all that. Yeah. And what I want to sort of pick up on is something that I was saying in other videos as well. You see, it's not quiet here at all with the birds now. But about being careful about trying to paste over our emotions and our feelings. And actually, I think it's Susan Jeffers that said that. She said, it's not about, spiritual journey and what we're trying to do in life, learning and growing, is not about painting pink paste over our problems or our challenges in life. And it's extremely important that we don't do that right now. And I've actually written about this in my book as well, Free Feeling Real Emotions Every Day. That's actually free on pretty much every platform in the basic version. So go fill your boots. But what I wanted to talk about was, it's kind of funny because this place where I'm living is so lovely in so many ways. And one of the things that has driven me crazy over the last few months is the sound of the motorway, and the cars going past can be very, very loud. And sometimes I wake up in the night and the cars were going all through the night, and I was like, I can't take this. And I used to have to put like the sound of ocean waves on to kind of cover it up. And now, like last night, I woke up and it was so quiet in the middle of the night. There were no cars, and it woke me up. And it was very unsettling. It was very unsettling that I couldn't hear the motorway, which I hate. I hate the sound of the motorway. But I was still unsettled by the fact that I couldn't hear it. And it was like my body woke up. My body woke up and went, oh, something's wrong. This is different. This is new. And it won't be news to a lot of you, that sometimes, when we wake up in the night, it's because it's too quiet. We get used to a certain level of noise and certain things going on. And it's really weird how our body gets used to certain noises. You could live somewhere that's really, really noisy, and you just kind of tend to shut it out. And it's a bit like, if you have a friend or a partner who snores, and you go on about it ages and ages, don't you? You sort of push them over, and you get those nose strips and do this and do that. And then maybe they go away for business or something like that, and you wake up and you can't sleep because there's no snoring. You think, and one way you could look at it is to say, oh gosh, as human beings we're never happy, and I don't think that's true at all. And so when I left my home in Wimbledon, which was actually quite a quiet place most of the time, at the time I was craving peace. I was craving silence. I was desperate to get away from cities, and I needed to get into nature, and I found it so difficult to, I felt like I was being tortured by all the sounds and the noises, and I couldn't cope, and I had to get away. And so I went to the south of Spain to do the Camino de Santiago, and I was there, and then I went off, and again I was. It was really weird because I was in this sort of natural place, and in Spain, and I remember all the roosters were going through the night and the dogs were barking through the night, and I was like, still nature can be very, very noisy. And then I finally got to a place. I did my first proper day walking on the Camino, and I ended up in this place, and I was out in the middle of nowhere, and I was underneath a sacred mountain, and there was a swimming pool, and I sat by the swimming pool, and it was like, oh, it's so quiet. And it freaked me out because I'd been seeking it. I had walked for it. I had planned for it. I had done everything to get to this place of silence. And as soon as I got there, I went, oh, it was a bit different. Oh, it was a bit scary. It's like somebody who plans to go to university. You take years and you plan or holiday, and you go and you get there and you're like, oh, it's a bit different. Oh, not sure about this. Oh, I'm a bit scared. Oh, something's going on. And we have that, that's kind of, it takes us a while to adjust, and it's a physical adjustment, it's a mental adjustment, it's a spiritual adjustment. But I will tell you, on the Camino, I did that, had that day, and I sort of adjusted a bit more, and then I walked a bit further, and I adjusted a bit more, and I walked a bit further. And I also went back into the towns. It was like one day I was in a town, the next I was somewhere remote. But I always remember when I ended up in a place in Portugal, which was called Torre, and a place called it's the place of the Golden Rocks. And I can't remember the Portuguese, but in English it's the place of the Golden Rocks. And I write about this in my book. And it snowed. It snowed like something like 12 inches of snow in one day, and we were all cut off. And somehow I managed to get there. And the woman said to me, you can walk down the road and back, but don't go any further. Don't go off the path because it's quite dangerous. You get lost in the snow because it's all white. And I remember going up, and this is about 1,500 meters above sea level, which is I think the tallest place in Portugal, in mainland Portugal. And it was so quiet, and it was so clean, and the air and the white, and it was like being in this pure white top of the mountain place. And I remember just drinking it in, just drinking it in. It was like, this is like drinking cool water, and it was so blissful. And then a little while later I could hear these children playing, and I could hear them playing on the snow. They were probably miles away, but the sound really carried because of the air and everything. It was such an amazing moment. But I got used to the silence. I adapted, I adjusted to the silence. And so it might seem strange at the moment. It's lovely to get the little birds going and everything. But in the night, we don't really have any noise here, like natural noises. And when I go to the woods normally, the thing I always hear is I hear all these night noises, like owls. And if I wake up and I hear an owl, I go, oh, and I go back, that's right, it feels right. So we're in an adjustment here, and there's a lot going on. So we have to have patience with ourselves. And be honest, really right now we have to be so truthful. And it's very tempting to try and lie about things and to, make up stories. And if we have to go and watch a movie, go and watch a movie. But, the first thing a lot of us will do with the silence is we'll go and put headphones on, we'll go and put the TV on, we'll go and do all those kind of things. And that gets you through, but maybe it doesn't really help you adjust, And, so I would say just do your best. And remember, this is, I think, to be honest, we have to really go one day at a time at the moment, and just do our best for the day. And obviously we're all trying to think wisely about the future and that kind of thing and what might happen, but it's another way to drive ourselves crazy if we spend too much time worrying about what might happen, and it's kind of weird because these sort of same words and concepts and ideas we can use this concept in either way. You can say, don't worry about the future. So I could sit here and say, right, eat loads of chocolate cake and don't worry about the future. Or I could sit here and say, just do your best and be healthy and eat healthily and do exercise and things like that. And don't worry about the future. Do your best for today. And stay calm. And it's finding the best for today. And this morning I sort of tend to wake up, and I've been doing this for a long time. Might be helpful if you're working from home. Try and pick 3 things. 3 most important things to do today, and focus on those, or even just one thing. Just if there's one important thing to do today, then if you can do that, that's really great. And just try not to overthink, try not to get overwhelmed. One breath in, and so when things get really, really tough, we have to just focus on one breath at a time. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And with our respiratory challenges at the moment, just doing really good breathing and good breathing exercises is very, very important. Just focusing on the breath can be very helpful. And it's something we can do in the present moment, is just to breathe deeply, breathe well. And then when we feel able, we can take a bigger bite of life. And it's okay. I say it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to experience our challenges and to really live those challenges, and not try to ignore everything, because in a certain extent, a lot of that's what's got us into this situation. But not to it's that middle ground, isn't it? The middle way of not trying to ignore everything that's going on, but then not trying to deal with it all in one go. So we have to adjust. We have to give ourselves time to learn and to grow, because our best will change. Our best for today is not the same as our best for tomorrow. So all we can do is our best for the day, and it's okay. Actually, this is what I'm going to finish on. Yeah. I talk a lot about grief and the grieving process. And one thing, again, that people often forget, and I didn't talk about before, is that we can often have a grieving process for positive things, positive change in our life. So when we do something great, when we are successful, when positive things happen to us, we can still suffer from grief and a grieving process. So if things are happening now that you wanted to happen, so I wanted the motorway to be quieter, or you wanted to homeschool your children, or you wanted to be homeschooled if you're younger, and these positive things happen, especially at the moment, we can feel a great deal of grief, and that in things becoming positive, and in us moving on, becoming successful, doing things that we want to, that's wonderful. But we always have to let go of other things. And even in adapting to positive things, we can sometimes experience more stages of grief, more difficulty than in adapting to negative things. And it's just one of the ways that we're made as human beings. So there you go. So if you're finding a challenge about things, it can just be because things are actually going well for you, for whatever reason. So don't judge it. Don't give yourself a hard time. Just be kind to yourself. Be kind to everybody else.